Same with Paris. I went for a school trip to Paris, and I got so like, wow, I was in love with Paris. And I was like 14. I remember this moment. I was in the bus, school bus, and I was looking at the Eiffel Tower, and I said to myself, I promised myself, I will come back here for modeling contract, and I'll be speaking Spanish, French. Indeed, I did. I came back after 5 or 3 years for modeling contract, speaking French.
Wow.
Kind of cool, right?
That's so amazing.
Yeah.
And then you feel, I've done it. I've achieved it.
Honestly,
And you want more.
Honestly. And I was like, my French wasn't perfect, right? It was never going to be perfect. But I was like, I made it. I promised myself something. I kept it. That's like a really nice thing to do. Like, guilty pleasure.
You touched on France, which leads me to the next topic.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
Did you experience maybe something on these modeling contracts? Maybe because you knew a language, let's say in France, maybe you traveled to other places and for modeling contracts, and maybe someone was talking something about you, or maybe you understood something, or for example, maybe on a simple casting, people probably in these languages, they are judging, they're like, oh, okay, could be whatever, but in their language, oh, too fat, too skinny, too whatever, and then maybe you actually had it.
Yes. I had 2 situations. One was actually whenever I was on the casting, I never admitted I speak French. Never. In Paris, of course. I'm speaking about Parisian Fashion Week, for example. So imagine this. I come for a casting, and I know they speak French, obviously. You know, I go to a random apartment, so obviously they're going to speak French. And I didn't say I speak French. I was like, English. So I can listen what they say about me, if I get the job or not. But luckily for them, they were only speaking like good things about my catwalk, my stuff. So I like that. But I indeed had situations that they were talking like, why is she staring at me like that?
Random people or on the casting?
No, on the casting or while working. I did had like, because I never admitted I speak French, you know. I was like, no, I can say salut or whatever. And I did speak French. I understood everything. So that was like my kind of power, and I liked the game, you know, because I was like listening. They thought I don't understand. I understood everything.
But were you planning? I had this situation many times. I remember when I was in Bulgaria, someone said something to me, and there was a moment when I was learning Bulgarian because I was that ignorant to go to Bulgaria and speak Russian because that was the only thing I knew. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, let me just learn Bulgarian. Yeah. And someone was actually speaking about me, and I knew the language at the very beginner level at the beginning, so I could kind of say, and then I wasn't too strong to answer in Bulgarian. I said it in Russian, but then they understood it. But I had this urge to fight back. Yes, they were like, "Oh, what is she wearing? She's in the supermarket." I'm like, "Okay, it's also like 30 degrees."
My God.
But did you have this urge to fight back, to say something?
Yes.
Did you do it?
I had a situation. Let me tell you. I was in the underground. So you know why are you working in Paris? You broke. Let me tell you this. Like, I was broke.
It's super expensive in Paris.
It's extremely expensive. And I was a teenager. I had like a pocket money, you know. Like, so it was like, I don't know, 50 euros for a week. Yeah. It was nothing. And the transport I had was like basically the underground. So I bought myself I think it was all-day ticket. Or 8 hours, I don't know. It was like a ticket for 8 euros. So for me, that time was really expensive. Yeah. It was like my last euros.
So expensive.
Yeah, kind of is for one day. Come on. Yeah. Oh, one day ticket actually it was 8 euros, and I was doing photo shoot in the center of Paris, and this is quite dangerous. Let me tell you, like Eiffel Tower area, it's quite dangerous because you have a lot of pickpockets, you have a lot of scammers, you have a lot of people. Basically, where a lot of people, where's a lot of people that you know that's gonna be like dangerous, right? So I was in a rush. I was hungry. I was tired. I was stressed, very stressed because there were a lot of people and it was dark outside. It was like 9 o'clock, let's say. Of course, at the evening or at the night. And I go and press my ticket, decline. I was like, I just bought it like an hour ago. How is it decline? Like rejected, you know? Yeah. I take it and I'm like, again, no. no. Ça ne marche pas. Ça ne marche pas. And I'm like, what? And I got so frustrated. I was so angry because I was like, the deadline is like tick tack, tick tack. I have to be there. And it's rejecting. And I spent €8 on it. So I come to the cast. I don't know if that's the name. Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
To the place.
I have no idea.
Like
the information spot, let's say. And I see a guy, young guy, and he's like this.
Yeah.
So I come, and I was wearing a black fur. So I kind of looked diva, and I come to him. Yeah, and I come to him. I press the ticket to the table, and like, what? It doesn't work. You speak English? And he did that. Buff.
What does that mean?
Buff is like, I don't care. Whatever. Buff. And I got so angry, girl. I was like, oh, really? And I started to speak French. And I was like, I was so mad. I was like, yeah? Oh, okay. So listen, I bought this ticket, it doesn't work. Give me the new one. And I was rude. I mean, I wasn't rude, but I was like very direct. Let me show you what he did. He was like this, right? Buff. So you do actually speak French. And he took my ticket, he changed it, and he said to me, I changed it for the new one only because you spoke French. In French, of course, he said that.
Such a guy.
Merci. Au revoir. No, but that was the moment I was like, oh, I don't like that mentality. Because like, what? If I'm going to speak English or Polish to you, you're not going to help me? Like, really?
That's why I always travel with a native speaker.
Lucky.
If I have friends,
lucky,
of course, somewhere. I wouldn't travel to, for example, Mozambique, India.
Yeah,
I really like traveling far. Also to Brazil, Guatemala, because I'm talking about those places because I have it planned.
Okay.
And I wouldn't do it without a native speaker. Because I've heard about this situation.
Yeah.
No.
This is like a contrast, For me, it was a contrast because I'm in a city that's so cosmopolitan, right? It's so popular, so...
You should speak English. You should
right?
be pro-customer service.
Respectful. Okay, you don't want to speak English. You don't like English. You think French is better. Be respectful. Because he was not respectful. Buff and...
What is that, like sitting?
Yeah, like you're working and I'm a customer. Have a respect. And he did indeed have a respect when I spoke French. So for me, it was like, not racist, but I didn't like that. It was like, it's not a privilege to speak French now. Because look, like, that is not that special in my eyes. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I was like, I don't like that. Because for me, French was like, wow. But the behavior was like, they expect you to. And I don't like that. Because I don't own them that. I can speak French if I want to, right? It's nice that I visit. I admire your architecture, your culture, but I don't owe you anything, right? Or no? It's your like problem that you don't speak English if you work in a very like touristic place, like underground is.
Really you should be able. That's shocking. Because you should be able to help people. Maybe it's a France problem because
it is. I mean, let's not generalize them because I think that's rude. But indeed, I can tell you, Italian, Spanish, French, they have one thing in common, that they're sick of tourists. They don't care.
Maybe it's that.
Yeah. They're like, I don't care. You're not gonna like them, so then another person gonna come and they're gonna like what they're gonna hear. And they take it for granted, in my opinion, which I don't understand because, for example, in Barcelona, there's a whole strike or a whole demonstration about like tourists go home, and I'm like, bro, that's the way you live.
Yeah.
Because that's a touristic place. You earn money out of it. It's not like for free, right? They pay a lot of money to be there, to admire your beauty. Why you behave like this? Like, I genuinely don't understand that. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I see, but it's just still shocking to me.
It is. Of course, not everywhere. Like, I did have a lot of good experience in Spain, in Italy, in France. But a lot of, like, this, if you speak my language, I like you. If you don't,